Hey, Zidoragi here, coming to another video review. And today I'll be taking a look at the 1 to 1/44th scale Real Grade Freedom Gundam from Mobile Suit Gundam Seed. Yeah, Seed. My brain decided to shut down for a second. Anyway, start things off. Size to a soda can. Pretty standard for a 1/144th scale. Colors are what you would expect from the Freedom type of mobile suits. Mostly white, along with some blue, a much darker blue, some red, some yellow, and some light, weird sort of baby blue gray color going on. And of course, because this is a real grade, every color there is on this guy has at least 2 shades of it. Because that makes sense. Posability on this guy is pretty good, but it's a real grade, so that's to be expected. With a couple caveats, and I'll get to those when it's time. First, we have the head. It's on a ball joint in the head itself, and a hinge joint in the body, so it can move back and forth, tilt side to side, swivel side to side, but can't go all the way around because the collar's in the way. Of course, the cockpit can open up, although there is not a little statuette of Kira in there. Arms can move up and down at the body. They can move out to the side that far at the shoulder itself. Go all the way around. Swivel all the way around just below the shoulder. And that far at 2 points in the elbow, so fairly nice range of motion there. There is a hinge in the wrist, allows it to move side to side. Ball joint in the wrist itself, side to side, in and out, swivel. And a hinge in the actual hand. And the fingers have some pretty good posability, with ball joint at the base of the trigger finger, thumb, and these 3 fingers with hinges sort of in the middle, thereabouts. As for the waist, there is a hinge joint in the stomach, allows it to move back and forth a little bit, and then another joint in the actual waist, side to side, tilt, back and forth. Side skirts can move in, out, swivel a bit. Front skirts can move on their own, up and down, in and out, swivel. Excuse me. Back skirt can move in and out and swivel a bit. I'm saving these for last because that is the caveat to this guy. Darn it! Stay in place. The legs, torso came off again. That happens quite a lot, actually. Legs can move forward that far, back that far, out to the side only that far because the side skirts get in the way. Swivel at the hip, bend that far at 2 joints in the knee, with some pretty good range of motion in there. Come on, straighten back out. Very tight joints, although that's good. The cover for the thrusters can move in and out, and you can also take thrusters and tilt. Come on. Trust me, you can tilt them down. See? And then just sort of put that back down and make it look like the thruster came out on its own. Just there. The ankle armor is on a ball joint. Back and forth, side to side, swivel. There is a joint in the lower part of the leg that lets it move up and down. And the feet, side to side, tilt, back and forth. The heel can move a little bit. Front part of the foot can move up and down, and the toe can move up and down. So pretty good range of motion throughout most of it. Now we get to the caveat, that being the wings. The wings have a very good range of motion, but the connections between the parts are absolutely abysmal. And that sticker's coming off. Now the actual wings themselves can move in and out and up and down at that point. Then there's another set of joints that lets these two main parts move up and down. This middle fin can move in and out. These fins can move up and down. These dark blue parts can move up and down. And of course the cannons can move, which I'll get to in a little bit. However, all of these parts do not hold together very well. So as you're posing it, a very big problem you will likely run into is that pieces will come apart. I actually had the wings just fall to pieces while I was posing it. Come on, get down there. Well, they do make good third legs. Or, I guess third and fourth. And now we get to accessories, and I am not excited about this part. So to start things off relatively easy, we have the cannons, which are just part of him. And they can, if you can get everything to move just right, they can swing, come on, all the way out and then forward. And if you want the wings splayed out in that rather famous pose, sorry about that. Oh, there is a hinge here, so bring that in. And you can sort of get something like that, even though the wings are quite a mess now. Let's get all this folded up and out of the way. That did not sound like that did not make a good sound, but it is a real grade, and I am not as enamored with this grade of models as I once was. Oh, come on. Now, I'm not editing out all this problems because I want you to see exactly the problems this kit has. Anyway, as far as the next accessory, he has his plasma cannons, or no, these are the plasma cannons. He has his rail guns on his hips. Fold that out. Fold that forward. Fold that forward. And there he has a massive cannon on his hip. And he has two of them. And there is a little handle you can fold out. Just fold it this way. Oh, yeah. So that's kind of neat. That's probably the least finicky of the onboard weapons to get set up. Come on, why are you being a pain? Okay, what do I want to move on to next? I guess the hands. He does have two closed fist hands. They're just balled up. These attach fairly easily. The hands are just attached to the arms with ball joints. So just get this flattened out. And then pull. Although be careful because this wrist guard is a separate piece. It's not attached to anything. So if you're not careful, it'll fall out. So then just pop the new ball joint into the socket. And there you go. Now he has a closed fist. Let's put that down. Come on. He also has a left splayed open hand, which is used for that rather famous scene, I think towards the end of Seed, where the Justice and the Freedom reach out to each other when Atherin joins the good guys and stops being a weirdo. Again, that attaches the same way, just pop the ball. Nope, nope. Crap. Pop the ball socket out of the joint, and then pop that one in there. Personally, I prefer to have the balled fist because there's not really any too much danger of pieces falling off because there aren't that many pieces to go with it. And then, of course, we have a gripping hand to grip the rifle and the other accessories. And that one attaches fairly easily as well. Just get the hand out of there. Pop the hand in. And there you go. And the shoulder armor popped off because of course it did. Next we have the shield, which is mostly white plastic, but a bit of dark blue, some red, and then some dark gray on this side. The handle can move, but it doesn't move smoothly. Instead, it has a series of tabs, so you just pull it out, and then plug it back in like that, or like that. And of course, you can move it anywhere you want along this track, you know, all the way down here, all the way up here, or just somewhere in between like I like to do. And this joint's on a ball joint, so it can move all over the place, and then a hinge here with a post that goes into the port on the back of the arm. So pop that into there. Swing that around. I don't know if it's actually possible to get this into the closed fist hand, because I've never actually tried it. Be right back. And I'm back. Answer for anyone else wondering is no. You can, of course, take the posable hand and wrap it around it, but I'm not going to do that. Oh, we got parts coming apart again. And now the backpack's even coming off. Lovely. Come on, stay. Oop. You gonna stand? Good. Okay. Next on the list, we have the beam sabers, which, as you can see, are just molded in white plastic with a few stickers. They do have two translucent pink beams. They can attach very easily, post into port. And of course, this being the Seed era, there are these little clips on the ends, so you can attach them together to make one big beam saber. Or you can just have him equipping two separate ones. To actually get him to equip it, you just take off the fingers on the hand. You're not supposed to take off the back of the hand, though. That stays on. And then there is a slot in the hand, which that tab will go into. Maybe. Yeah, there we go. And then you just put the fingers back on. And there you go. And just to demonstrate it, if you will stand for a moment. Come on. Why are you being such a pain? There. But just to demonstrate it, there is a slot in the posable hand to accommodate beam saber. Come on. And it does hold it fairly securely. And of course you can still get the ultra long beam saber equipped, because reasons. Now, you may have noticed I have kept the fingers from his hand off. I will explain that in a moment. But before we move on to that, these can be stored on him. There are little indentations here on the side skirts with little slots. And basically you just fit these. It's easier to do if I'm looking over the camera. Into there. And then you need to somehow press them down into it, which is easier said than done oftentimes. Let's see if I can get this to there. That'll do. And then for the other one, where'd it go? There it is. And there he is with the other beam saber stored. I did it off camera because it was proving to be too much of a hassle to do it on camera. Hello, kitty. No, that is not some kind of brand thing, so no, don't hit me with that. Come on. There we go. And lastly, we have his beam rifle. Mostly dark gray plastic, some blue, some white. Handle can move side to side. Clear piece in there. Not a bad amount of detail. There's a tab on the grip that can go into the slot in the hand. Just pop that in there. Put the fingers on. And there he is equipping the rifle. Very secure. That is not going to go anywhere. Finally got that out of the hand. Now you may have noticed I am doing a lot of off-camera stuff with this review. And that's because this is proving to be an extremely frustrating kit to work with. And this is about the third time I have tried filming this review, and I've given up trying to make it perfect. Because this is the third time I'm trying. It is currently almost 2 in the morning. So, yeah. Now, for one last thing, the rifle can be stored. There it is. There is a tab right there on the side of the rifle, and a slot on the kit's back skirt. So you just need to line those two up, slot. Tab, slot, and go. And there it is, stored. Somewhat clumsily, but it is stored. Let's see if I can get the wing around that. That'll do. There it is, stored. This was a bit of a haphazard review, but that just about does it for my review of the 1 to 144th scale Real Grade Freedom Gundam from Mobile Suit Gundam Seed. Thank God I only have one more of these Real Grade kits to review.